Welcome everybody to Catfish Weekly along with Josh. I'm Lyle and Josh were missing the other spoke of the wheel tonight.
Yeah,
Chad is tied up with some business stuff, not going to
he,
be with us this evening.
he's the hub of Catfish Weekly. If you ask him,
If you ask him correctly.
he's a legend in his own mind. So,
He is a legend in his own mind. Oh
but
man.
you know what? We miss him when he's not here.
We do, but it does give us time to climb on his ass and bang it a little bit.
I mean, I've missed Chad with everything I've thrown so far.
I
So,
understand. I understand. Listen, I have some tournament results tonight from the Indiana Catfish Association, the Hoovie results, and we'll go to the top 5 tonight with Waylon Yoder and Timothy, 56.60 pounds. Fourth place was TJ Boone and Stephen Francher with 68.48 pounds. Third place was Tim and Isaac with 73.27 pounds. Second place was Corey Peterson and Travis Yost with 109.6 pounds. And first
oh,
place was
wow,
first place James Holcomb and Justin Arthur with 133 pounds and a 47.08 big fish. So
wow,
congratulations to everybody. That's quite a
that's,
way in they had over there.
that's some really good numbers over there.
Yeah, it is. That's really great. And we're happy for all of them. Let me see what we got here. People are rolling in now. We'll give them a
Yeah,
few
probably.
minutes before we hook them in.
I'm gonna
But
find it here. We've
before
got
we
Ray
look at
Smith.
that,
Thank you, sir.
Ray,
Been a member for
he's a
40
super
months.
guy. Ray's been following Catfish Weekly for a long, long time. Very happy to have him as part of what we do. Josh, before we get to welcome everybody in tonight, why don't you tell us where
Mhm.
you're at?
Well, I am sitting at Crab Orchard Lake. So some of the folks in chat may be familiar with it because they were out here just a week or so ago. But I am out at a just sitting out on a dock. Got a couple lines in the water. We're going to see if can't coax a channel cat or maybe a flathead into biting. But I've got fresh caught shad. They were still flopping when I made cut bait out of them, and we got two lines sitting out here with shallow water. We're going to see if we can't come up with a fish tonight. So as we
Very
talk
nice.
about night fishing, so
That sounds like a plan. Let me see if I can go up here to the top and we'll start in and see who all's in chat. How's that sound?
sound like a plan there.
I think the first one in today was Mike Sampson. We got Bugman 22, John Boy's Catfishing, Mike Irwin, Dan Buerer Brewer,
Pure.
Burrito Catfish Lady, Fishing with Jeff Beal. Let's see here. Bugman again. But and the guys in chat was talking about something that is near and dear to you and I, Josh, that Pete Rose has passed away, one of baseball's all-time greats. Played
Mm-hmm.
for Cincinnati
Definitely.
as far as I know, he played for Cincinnati his whole career.
He best I know he did. I know he spent a little time down my way back in the '90s, but
Yeah,
he all in all, that man should have been in the Hall of Fame.
he should have
No
been in the
questions
Hall of
asked. He should have been
Fame.
in the Hall of Fame.
It'll be a crying shame if they elect him into the Hall of Fame after he died because he deserved to have been in there while he was still living. So
And
that's
you
our
know
opinion.
with celebrities, it always seems to come in threes. I don't know what it is, but it always does. And
I agree.
I saw yesterday where Chris Christopherson passed away.
Yep, another great
I,
in the music
I've
industry and
always
movies.
liked Chris. So
Yeah, me too. Burrito Catfish Lady, we got 922 Crappie Barbecue. Mark Barnum is in chat with us. Mike Irwin. Christina Dunnigan says, hit that thumbs up, y'all, and good evening. Thank you for joining us, Christina. Ray Smith, we said for 40 months. Thank you, Ray. Schmieder of the Cedars has got in here. Fishing with the Squirrel. Hey, Dawson, how you doing? There's Mad Catter's Catfishing. Good to see you in here tonight. Greg Burgess. Wabash Nate. Benoit Fishing Outdoors. Brad Becks. I'm getting close to the bottom, Josh. We got a whole bunch in that's watching, but not so
Yeah,
many of them that are in
yeah,
chat. There's Jerry Parker.
we're up to 48 now. So everybody's
They're
filtering
coming.
in. It's Monday
That's
night.
right.
Everybody's allowed to move slow on Monday.
Yeah, I do.
So
Jerry Parker has joined us. Dave Funk has joined us. Tim Molina, good to see you in here, Tim. There's Lance McCouguy and Mark, our buddy from Catfish and Crappie.
remember 41 months for Mark right there.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, Mark.
Randy, the old gray-haired Swain.
Yeah, I just saw
Downtown Ernie Brown.
Austin is right. So the answer to this live stream is yes.
Yeah, that is correct.
They will night bite. Hopefully. Now I don't want to jinx myself either.
Well, I understand. Well, I'm not as close to the bottom, I guess, as I thought I was. But I'm gaining on it. Greg Burgess has joined us. David Smith has joined us.
You see Dog and I Outdoors is in. Crappie Day Darren. David
Jody.
Smith.
Pontoon Jody has joined in.
There is channel member Danny Stone Outdoors.
Hey, he's pretty early for him.
That's yeah. That's either that or we're running way behind. And I didn't know it.
Yeah. Crappie Day Darren. There's Austin again. He's in here. Glad to see Austin. Retired Rick has joined us tonight.
Oh, Dave Funk said Pete Rose also played for the Phillies. I did not know that.
I did not know that.
But I trust Dave Funk to not steer us wrong on that one. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he'd know. No doubt about it. There's Danny.
Hey, there's Ernie the Hog Snatcher. I ain't seen him in a long time.
Heck
What's
yeah,
going
good
on,
to
brother?
see him in here tonight.
We'll be Josh a mosquito swatter for a little while here.
Okay. Oh, man. Dog and I Outdoors. Curtis, welcome. I think that gets us down to the bottom. Hell, I got something flying around in front of my face. And I don't like that. But I got a bug zapper right here. So.
Ah, there you go.
You should have one with you. You look
well. I almost grabbed the electric fly swatter, and I almost grabbed the Cinderella candle to light out here on the dock, and I didn't bring either one of them. So
we keep there is a fly swatter in my boat. I promise you. Might be a little hard.
It's probably for Cindy to get you back in line with. Would you get to?
Well, maybe so, but it'll sure work on them black bugs that end up biting you on the legs and stuff. It sure will.
So little bit of side thing here before we get started. I had to run into town today. I took John with me, and we went to Menards. We had to pick up some crimp connectors for a wiring project on Jerry Parker's boat. But when we got out there, of course, he wanted to go see the Halloween stuff. And so we had to go over and see the Halloween stuff. And Menards actually is already getting their Christmas stuff out.
Ain't that silly?
And we had to go look at all that stuff too. And I was laughing. There is video that I took today of my son pointing at the Santa Clauses, and the dad, look, it's Lyle. It's Lyle.
I actually seen that. It's kind of cute.
There was a 12-foot tall inflatable Santa that my son was trying to convince me was Lyle, and I told him Lyle is not that tall. So
you're right about that. You are right
Mark,
about that.
absolutely, he is. Yeah. Oh, Mark Barnum. Is John going to dress up as Chad for Halloween? That'd be scary.
That
He'd
would
look
be
like a
scary.
if we dressed up John as Chad for Halloween, he'd look like a Chucky doll.
That's so true. Oh, Tim Molina says, I support your Second Amendment right to openly carry that fly swatter. Thank you,
I,
Tim. I appreciate the support, but I'm going to have it anyhow. That's kind of like some other things I carry where I go. I have a permit, but if I didn't, I'd still have it. We got
the
43
sun is
people
going away
watching.
fast.
Yes, it is. If you guys wouldn't mind, please hit that thumbs up. We appreciate it so very much. If you're not a channel member, it'd be great if you'd subscribe and you can join the club if you feel that you should. Man, I almost
Dog
thought
and
about
I, Curtis says, every time I use crimps and do it right, it's such, it scrolled on me. It's such a pain, or I crimp too tight, or wire come out when it's done. Well, why don't I just use electrical tape? Uh, Best set of crimpers I ever bought was I think Klein makes them, and they're a ratcheting crimper, and they only go so tight, and then they open back up, and you will get a good crimp just about every time. And I always go and I'll crimp it twice. That's just me being cautious, but I've never had
I
one over crimp, but I've never had one that when I got done crimping it and pulled the wire, that the wire come out. So
Channel Lock brand pliers makes a crimper that specifically, it's only got 2 ports on it, specifically made for crimping wire.
oh, nice.
And it is, I've had it for years and years and years. It doesn't have trimmers on it or nothing, just those 2 ports. And you can
Oh,
really lay it
Tim
on them.
Molina.
And it's absolutely the greatest crimper that I've ever used. I used it for years and years and years. Um, when I was working for a handicap accessible van company and doing everything on their stuff has to be solid. But
Oh yeah.
sometimes you can't get to something to solder it, and they'll
Mm-hmm.
make exceptions for that. But everything should, and on a boat, let's be honest, Josh, any place that's around water, stuff should be soldered and then sealed.
It needs to be sealed. But if you start looking at the Coast Guard regulations on it, they need a mechanical connection. They need a crimp. You can crimp and solder, but they need to be
I
crimped.
don't
And
see any
it's
reason to do both. If you solder it, it's
yeah,
going to be there, and
yeah.
it won't it won't deteriorate nearly as fast. But
No,
it's got to be heat
I've read
shrunk.
their
It can't just be
I've
ice.
read their I've
Oh,
read their
man.
reasoning behind it, and their reasoning is sound. It's about wanting to
I'd
maintain
like to see that sometime.
it's about wanting to maintain a physical connection, and a properly crimped connection, the wire will break before that crimp ever will. So I mean, you yank on that thing and it'll break somewhere up that wire.
Yeah, I break up the wire, but the solder won't come undone.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The thing about them handicap accessible vans is them people's lives are on the line,
right.
and
Oh
they
yeah.
don't want to take a chance with a crimp
Now
when
I
solder is
trust
100%.
I trust my solder connections, but I don't trust a lot of people's solder connections, if that makes any sense.
Well,
So
and you have to be certified to work on them vans,
yeah,
because
yeah. Now
you know,
yours I would trust, but
yeah,
I have seen some solder connections, especially if you ever flip through like Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts and stuff like that. I, I'm convinced that some of these people just do this just to get the comment section stirred up and get that interaction.
yep,
Like, here, I'm going to do a horrible solder job just so everybody will blow this thing up, and then it gets viewed. So,
yeah, that could very well be. It's kind of like some of their welding. I mean,
oh
wow,
yeah, yeah, some
look
of
like
that's
it's
bad.
freaking
So,
crapped on that piece of metal. It ain't, and chances are you couldn't even pick it up without it coming undone. It was so horrible. I've seen some of those, and I think, man, how in the world? And this guy's probably got a job as a welder.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Oh man,
Just
but
remember, you know what you call the guy that got D's in med school, right?
what's
You
that?
still call him doctor. You still
Yeah,
call him
that's right.
doctor. So,
And he's still making the big bucks.
and he's still making the money. So, he's
Oh, that's a
oh,
fact.
let's see. Ray
I
Smith said he likes the heat shrink connectors with the solder inside. I like those. Good
I
flux
have never
keeping.
used any of those, but I hear good things about them.
I have seen some of those. Those are really nice. So,
That's a new deal, and I haven't seen any of them. If I see some someplace, if I'm at a place that's got them on hand, I'll probably buy some just to try them out because
I
I'm
want to buy
sure
some of the.
they work.
I've seen a big collection of them on Temu for really cheap, and I
Really?
almost want to try the real cheap Temu ones just to see if they're any good. So,
You know, we've talked about this before. I have got some stuff, not lately, but I have purchased some stuff from them, and I haven't found anything that was bad yet. The only thing that I bought a light that had a magnifying glass so I could
mhm.
see to do things, and it was real small. Instead of being, I was expecting something much larger,
Oh yeah,
but it still works. I mean, it's what they sold me was not bad. It's just not exact. I should have asked for sizing, I guess, because I need something a lot bigger. But it does. It's
right.
very workable. But I've not got anything that was I thought just terrible from them yet.
Huh.
So
Randy Swain's tried them. He said they work good as long as you use a heat gun to melt them.
I have that.
Well, I should have targeted carp tonight. They are jumping everywhere.
Uh-oh.
They're everywhere right now.
They make some good bait too.
These things are huge in here.
I bet so.
Jeff Gibbs at the doctor. Working,
Working at the patients first. Yeah,
working at patient first. Yep.
I bet that is right.
I
So what do
keep
you
hearing noises.
how hard was it to catch bait tonight, Josh?
It was a little bit of a pain in the neck. We had that the remnants of that hurricane come through and just kind of sit off to our southeast all weekend long. So we had from Thursday night all the way through probably Sunday morning, we had northeast winds and rain and everything else. And Friday night it was really doing good. We had pretty strong winds, had a lot of rain. It muddied the water up, and the shad are with normally I can come out and catch them pretty quick off one of the causeways here, and they were not wanting to cooperate today. I had to go over the other side of the causeway, and I threw right up next to the bank and caught me about a half dozen real quick, nice, good 8 to 10 inch shad. And I said, that's going to do me enough for tonight. I don't need to overdo it. And whatever I have left, I'll take home and cut into pieces and throw in my bait tank and let the bluegills and stuff mess with it. So
Very good. Well, at least your was bait was accessible. Um, I think that right now is a great time to get bait if you have places
mhm.
that have enough water in it, or you can get to the spots on whatever creek, small river, or lake that you can go to get in the holes deep enough to hold them. Because around here, things are getting drawn down for the winter pool time. Plus the lakes and stuff. We haven't had any rain for a month and a
Right.
half. So, and all the creeks and small rivers, you got to go to the holes to find them. Places that they was, they're gone from now. So, bluegill and sunfish, long ears, uh, stuff like that. Greenies, they're kind of hard to
Oh
find
yeah.
now. You gotta find them in a hole.
Yeah.
Which if you're able to walk, that's really not a problem. Uh,
Now
but
ours are doing pretty good, but uh, that rain brought the lake back up, so that helped. And now a couple weeks ago, what was it? Yeah, a couple weeks ago when Danny and I were headed back to the boat ramp after fishing at I can't remember the name of the tournament. We fished an online tournament a couple weeks ago. Danny will say which one it was. I don't remember what it was. Fever Believer tournament. That's what it was. But we were headed back in, and Danny was up there at the front of the boat with the spotlight. Well, we ended up idling that whole bay all the way back to the boat ramp, just watching the spotlight. You could have walked across the lake on all the shad that we're swimming through.
Wow.
And so I said, if somebody went out right now and took some coolers and some ice and made them a good brine, they could go out and catch a ton of nice sized shad, bring them home, get a vacuum sealed, they'd be set for the winter time. And the water temperature is dropping, so you don't have to worry about them coming out being all hot. The water temperature feels like it's probably somewhere in the 70s already. So
That's cool. Big shad you can keep for a little while without them getting soft on you. The small ones, you just might as well
all
release
the
them.
little bitty ones, yeah, use them whenever you're gonna use them, and don't freeze them or anything. But
That's right.
mid
Mark Barnum,
size to went and got bluegill for the river in the morning. It's like someone flipped a switch about 1:30. It was one after another for 30 minutes. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
shoot, no, and them you can get all you want pretty quick when they're going like that.
Every once in a while, I'll get into them like that. I did that during Chad's uh, panfish tournament about 3 or 4 years ago.
I remember that. You got them. Danny Stone says I went out the next morning and threw the net for 30 minutes, got a freezer full.
Full of shad. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, not because he'll use them much as he fishes.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, he'll use them. But yeah, this is my favorite time of the year to fish. Um, I think there's more big fish caught in the fall before winter than any other time. Although winter's pretty good too until it gets just
Winter's a
bitterly
good
cold.
time of year to fish.
Yeah, until it gets bitterly cold. But yeah, from now on, it should be really good. Get you some good bait and get out there and fish night or day. But nighttime it's still hot in the daytime for me. So mornings, early mornings, late at night, still some. What the hell, Chad?
He just doesn't want to. He just doesn't want to hang out with us no more. Is what
That's
it is.
okay. That's all right.
There is Creole. He said it's definitely my favorite season, and
Yeah, mine too.
there's a really good reason for that. If y'all watched Saturday, and
Yeah,
if you
he
didn't
catches
watch,
a lot of fish.
Saturday, you watch the bragging board later on tonight, and you'll see why Creole loves fall. And he also, I happen to know, loves his LSU Blackhorse rod, his bumping rod.
Oh, does he?
I'm quite positive that he does. So
Well, I'm glad.
no, we got all rained out Saturday, and uh, then Sunday I got out, and I've had Jerry Parker's boat at my house for about a week. He had his power trim pump went out, and yep, Chad's sitting the bench tonight.
When I first read that, I thought it said sitting on the beach.
That's what I thought he said too for a second. But,
Oh yeah.
but I got Parker's power trim working on his boat again for him, and
Well,
got
good.
the stuff today to switch out his ignition switch because his electric choke's not working at the moment because the ignition switch going bad. And so we'll do that. It's I looked at the forecast today, and it's sunny for the next 10 days.
Yeah, that's what we got.
It's sunny and it's like in the 70s. It's going to be perfect weather.
I think so, and the water's going to keep cooling off. The fish are going to get turned on, and it's going to be awesome.
I mean,
Chad got kicked from the show again. Don't let these. Must be D.
Part of me wants to reposition these baits, and the other part wants to let them sit for a little bit. So I'm not real sure there.
Well, that you have to
But
make that decision on
they've
your
been in the
own.
water now for half an hour, and we ain't had nothing. So I'm going to reposition them, see if we can
Okay,
come up with
that'll be
something.
fine.
Oop.
Mike Irwin says, "What did you do this time, Chad?" That's kind of funny. Josh going to pull in and reposition his bait, see if he can get on some active fish, which is a great idea if he can get them pulled in without getting hung up. And I'm pretty sure where he's at, he will be able to, because it's not as easy tying up new stuff in the dark as it is in the daylight for some reason. Misplaced Country Girl Fishing, welcome here at Fur Lake. No, Mark, I, we didn't kick him to the curb. He's got business to take care of. He's a hard worker. So, hello to you, Greg. I'm going to have to miss the best time to fish down here. My wife has to have neck surgery in 3 weeks, so by the time I get to go, it's going to be cold. Well, you take care of what you have to take care of, Greg. Family comes first, and fishing just them fish will be there when she gets better, and I hope everything goes really well for you guys. Jeff Beal says, "Tip your rod, tip more vertical to the water if you can."
Tip your rod more vertical to the water. Oh yeah, I can. It's in that wagon. They're only straight up and down in that one. Huh?
Got one working?
Might have been a good choice. We got that outside rod over here just kind of moved around a little bit.
Good deal. Good deal. Nothing better than seeing live fish caught or fish caught while live.
And we're gonna give it a shot after the show tonight.
Yeah, you'll
Not for
need to
very
tell
long,
everybody
just to
about that.
not get. Yeah, just not to It's less of a live fishing show and more of I'm trying out some new streaming software to see how it's going to run. So some of you are very familiar with StreamYard. Others aren't, but StreamYard is what we use to do these lives. And StreamYard, in their infinite wisdom, decided that it would be a good idea to nearly double the subscription cost. And so I got Lyle got the email a month or so ago. I got it this month. And my subscription price was supposed to go is going from $25 a month to $45. And I think Lyle's is going from 45 to 90.
Yeah,
So
and Lyle's not going to do that.
no, and I reached out to StreamYard trying to see if, hey, let's make something work. Crickets, absolutely nothing from them. So they don't care.
Yeah, that's
And,
right.
but I had another company reach out to me after I put StreamYard on blast a little bit. And they told me to try out their stuff. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. About 8, I've got it scheduled for 8:30 on my channel. That way we don't, if we run a little bit long tonight on Catfish Weekly, probably not going to be a very long show, maybe about a half hour. I want to test a couple things and make sure it's going to kick over. But I'd normally blame it on inflation, Jeff, but I think this one's just them being greedy. So
Yeah, I think so too.
they've had 4 years to raise the price for inflation and they haven't. So
Yeah, I agree, and I wouldn't mind a little raise,
I
but
could
to
handle
double it
I could
too much.
I could have stomached 10 or 20%, but
Yeah,
when you're almost doubling it, it's not going to happen.
That's just too much.
I did see Ernie says try. I haven't tried OBS yet. I may mess with that for the house. I used
I
it in
have
the past.
OBS.
OBS works good.
Yes.
I saw a question up. I'm trying to find it. There it is. What do you think about Motor Guide or Minn Kota trolling motor spotlight? Which one's a bit Minn Kota?
Minn Kota heads and tails.
I own both. I own both brands, and I will tell you that the Minn Kota or the Motor Guide that's on my John boat is the last motor guide I'll ever own the rest of my life. They, for whatever reason, did not use shielded bearings in the steering box on that XI3. So after a little while, you get in the rain. This is something you're using around water. It gets water in the bearings, and they seize up, and then your steering doesn't work. And so, I'd be the last motor guide I buy.
Yeah. I don't only know one person that sinks motor guides better than them, and that's because he had a bad experience with one. But even he will tell you if you spot lock them side by side out in a heavy current river, there's no contest.
No, and I'll tell you the spot lock on the motor guide, it works, but it's not like that Tarova.
No, it's not.
You know, they're all going to move around a little bit. None of them keep you right exactly where you were at. They are going to within about a 5-foot radius is how they work.
Yep.
But man, that Minn Kota just will slowly increase that speed and move you over and try to keep your place. That motor guide likes to zoom.
Yep.
And then it float away. Zoom.
I will tell you though.
That's right there. Bring Dog and I's comment up. Said the anchor mode on my XI5, I have to be sitting down before I hit anchor mode. Exactly. It wants to throttle up like crazy.
Yeah, right. The newer the technology is, which means every year they come out with their new models. Every year they're better. All of them. I don't really.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to make any difference what brand of electronics that you're dealing with. Every year the technology is better and better, and all of it is better than it ever was before. But still, Humminbird and Minn Kota, them guys, and people argue that Garmin's this and Motor Guy's that. They ain't none of them as good as them two. They're the best. And regardless of what you think about different parts of it, they're the best selling. They make the best equipment, have the best warranties. It's just the way it is. And I know that some people think that the Garmin has the front blocking imaging down pat better than Humminbird, but the guys that's got the Humminbirds will tell you they're so far advanced over top of Garmin, it's not even funny. Go try them for yourself. That's the way you find out. But I talked to a guy the other day about forward facing. Yeah, guy told me the other day forward facing sonar. He throwed his Garmin in the trash and went and bought one of them. That's the smartest thing he ever did. The next guy's going to tell you the same thing the other way.
Now,
you know what
I mean? I used Humminbird for years. and then I switched to Lowrance. I like Lowrance better. I think I get better results. But that is,
I had such a bad experience with the Lowrance.
It's a Ford and
it kind of is. Yeah, but I wouldn't get it.
If I Ford and Chevy.
If I can keep from it, I want to get in a boat's got a Lowrance on it. Now I would with you.
Yeah, it's a Ford and Chevy thing. So
I seen Doc Lang do things with Lowrance electronics that's amazing, and he just push a button here and a button there and change the whole thing on it. If you are somebody that don't know how to do a Humminbird that way, I can do that too.
Yep. If you're a techie one and like to play with those settings, and I am, Lowrance will really. That's where Lowrance starts to shine. Lyle told me that one time that, what was it? You said Garmin was the Dodge of the fish finder world or something like that. So
I don't know if I said that or not, but it sounds like something I would say.
I want to say that you said that. I might have. I don't remember if it was in a show or maybe after a show. But
I would have been pointing that towards one specific person if I did say it. My old buddy Mark.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know that I said it, but it's something I would say. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I figured out how to. I figured out how to get those bugs away from me. They were starting to get in my face and everything else. I've got that big work light, and I went about 10 feet down the dock from me and aimed it up into a tree and turned it on high. And
Good
now
for
all
you.
those bugs are now they're all down there swarming. They're leaving me alone. So
Mark says, "Now I know you two have been drinking."
not yet. I wish I had.
No, just water. That's it.
I didn't even bring me a water. I'm dry. I
Oh
didn't.
man, that's a mistake there.
Well, I got here and I was like, oh, I'm running behind, so I just came out here instead of stopping at the gas station getting a Gatorade or something. But
You know, um, we're talking about night fishing and this and that about that, but we have something coming up, the drawing for next week. You want to go into the details and tell everybody about getting entered in that?
yeah, it actually kind of works out good because talking about night fishing, it's going to be some night fishing. Uh, we've got the Top Cat Challenge coming up. Now, we did a whole show a few weeks ago explaining all of it. And I would highly recommend anybody that's interested to go back and at least go through the first part of that show where we went through the PowerPoint and explained how it's all going to work. But I'm not, Mark, I am not drinking Crab Orchard Lake water. It's not going to happen. So uh, I'd, I'd probably drink Crab Orchard Lake water before I drank a Dasani, but that's about it. But they had, so we've got Top Cat Challenge. And what we're doing with this one is we are bringing and showcasing one angler per month. And they're going to fish live from 7 p.m. Central until 9 p.m. They're going to have a 2 hour. They're going to have a 2 hour block, and it's going to be. We're going to come up with the biggest weight bag there, and we're going to see who can win. But we're also going to. It's going to give us a chance to really get to know some of these anglers. So I mean, we see everybody on these tournaments. We know people's names. We know them to see them. But we're going to get a chance to really focus. And it's going to be like being in the boat or being on the bank with somebody and watching exactly how they do as they're going after these fish. Now, next Monday, we're going to be drawing for the October segment of the Top Cat. So towards the end of the show, Monday night, October the 7th, I think it's October. Yeah, October 7th, I believe. Don't. We are going to be we're going to be drawing. We're going to draw one angler to fish, and we're going to draw. I believe we said 2 alternates. Is what we come up with. Now the alternates only fish if life happens and that angler has to drop out.
And that things do come up.
And things happen. I mean, look, who was expecting a hurricane to land over North Carolina and just stay there all weekend long?
Right.
Stuff happens. But and so we're going to do that. We're going to run this for 12 months. And at the end of that 12 months, we'll have gotten to know 12 anglers probably fairly well. I guarantee we're going to see a bunch of different techniques, and we're going to learn about other people's bodies of water. And I'd be willing to bet we're going to see some good fish caught in this. It's going to take a decent. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to take a decent amount to win Top Cat. So
yeah, I'd say so because some of the guys that are entered are heavy hitters.
Mm-hmm.
And now we don't have a lot of people for this month for whatever reason.
Right now,
they're big time guys.
Right now, the odds of getting in on October are pretty good. I'm going to miss somebody if I try to say who all I know is signed up. I know Pontoon Jody's signed up. Jerry Parker, Danny Stone, Dave Funk has signed up,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to say there's one more, and I cannot think
It
who it
seems
is.
like there is. Let me go back and check.
I apologize if you're in and watching right now and you know you're signed up on it. Just go ahead and tell me and smack me upside the head for forgetting. I'm just trying to, off the top of my head, remember who all signed up on that Facebook thread. But
Bob Britt is in.
Bob Britt, there we go.
Yep.
There is
It is.
there is somebody that can put a fish in the boat.
Bob, it got Jerry Parker, Bob Britt, Danny Stone, Jody, Pontoon Jody, and Dave Funk. That is
Any one of
6
them,
pretty tough competitors.
any one of them can put some good fish in the boat.
But don't let them guys scare you off. If you're wanting to
No.
do get in, because they can all have a bad night. You know,
Oh yeah.
it's just
And
the way it is.
there's just going to be one, and there's just going to be one of them. That's going to be on the 21st October, I believe. It's going to be the special show, and it'll be a 2-hour show. Mark says it's going to be a slugfest. Yeah, that's the truth. Remember, it's going to be one. There's going to be one up there, but
I think
we'll
Mark
find
should
out.
get in this.
Mark doesn't fish anymore.
I think he wants to wait till spring, actually. But he can enter because
now look at this. He can't even show up to his show, but now he's wanting to sign up for Top Cat.
Mark says he's going to try next fall.
You know,
Next spring,
you look at Chad, and he canceled the bait shop last Thursday, and then he didn't show up here on Monday. It's just, what are we going to do with him? So
he's a fig Newton in his own mouth.
205. It's going to be on the 21st of October. So next Monday we'll do the drawing. To sign up, there's a email address is register at theweekendangler.com, and there's there's a official sign up thread on Facebook. Anybody that does send it in through the email, I'm going to put your name on the Facebook thread. That way, that is where everybody is. It's a transparency thing. So if you have Facebook, jump over there and you can sign up on the Catfish Weekly group page there on Facebook. We've got it pinned to the top of the group. That way, it's easy to find.
Yep.
And that's right, Dan. Whoa. Danny
I need to address Chad's remark.
What Chad say now?
He says he fishes less than I do. I have had back worked on and not been feeling real well, but I still was fishing today, Chad. I had to fill up. I had to change the water in my bait tank that I keep them in, my Frable. I've got them in that Frable this time. And instead of using chlorinated water and treating it, I just go out and dip up water out of the river and change it out that way.
Oops.
So I know the water is what they've been used to.
Oh, that ain't good. Let's see here.
What
I think
happened?
I just made my power bank just got mad at me. So give me just a second here.
Sean T said, "See, Chad's been hanging around Chunky. You two folks ain't good enough for him."
Oh wow,
that's cruel right there.
Now, Dog and I had a question. Is Top Cat most weight at the end of the year? I believe that we decided on a 2-fish bag. It is going to be the top weight, but I think we did a 2-fish bag just because you could stumble on one big fish.
It's hard to stumble on two.
Hard to stumble on two.
That's a fact. Chad says it's been a rough few months for him, and it has. It really has. I'll help you out, buddy.
Give me just a second here to try to.
Randy Swain says, Chad, anyone that sold a house knows what you've been going through. That's a fact. It really is.
All right. Let's see. We're gonna try to daisy chain a thing here. Hmm.
I understand, Jeff. I understand. That's just how it goes. Creole says it takes a few months for Chad to count all his money. Well, he does have Chad Fields money, and I can prove it. Uh,
Well, okay.
Will
We've
Five
made it.
Wild Action has joined us. If I haven't caught you um, in chat and recognized you, don't think anything about it because it goes pretty quick. We're a guy down, and I'm not as efficient as that as some of the other boys are. We try to catch everybody as they come in. Sean T, welcome. Uh, but yeah, I don't think anything about it if I don't get you.
All right. Let's see if this. Whoa! Bright light.
Wowzer!
All right. I don't think it's going to like what I just did, but we're going to give it a shot. So I plugged the power bank in to charge and then left some of this stuff plugged into it. And I don't know that that's going to work, but we'll give it a shot. So,
Okay, I did. I was just saying I went out to change the water in my bait tank today, my little cooler that I keep my Frable. Which, by the way, those things are $199 all the time. Frable 30
mm-hmm.
quart bait coolers. Bass Pro Shop has them on sale right now for $160 if anybody is
Oh,
interested.
wow.
$30 saving on that bait tank. Has 2 aerators, goes with it. They're battery powered. Um, I really like mine.
That ain't
Really
bad at
do.
all.
Now the Engel is a little cheaper. It's also 30 quart, but it's taller. It has a place too. I like the Frable the best, but the Engel has a place. It fits perfectly in front of the console of my boat, and you don't have to walk around it. It just sits there perfectly. It's the exact right size. The Frable's too big to put up there without it being in the way. But if you're interested in one, that's a hell of a deal on one of those bait tanks.
Oh,
If you're
yeah.
interested in Bass Pro, and they had them on like that here a while back, but it didn't last very long. So if you're interested, you might check it out. But I go out and I've done a little fishing today while I was there. But I take that out, and when I change the water in it, I just drain it out right there. Take a 5-gallon bucket and put about half of a bucket full in at a time till I get the desired amount of water I have, and I never have to worry
Mm-hmm.
about chlorine or none of that other crap getting in my bait tank.
I
I
had
just
to,
back right. I just back right up to the to the water. And today I tried everything imaginable for a little while to catch fish. The only thing I got hit on at all was those white spider top waters on a fly
mm-hmm.
rod. They're the only thing that they hit.
Oh,
I tried everything from jigs to gulp alive to spinners, and the only thing got hit was those top waters, and not one hooked up. But they get hit all the time, which tells me even with size 12 hooks, the bodies was too big for them little fish to get them. I think I was
yeah.
really into them bad.
Creole, you can use code LyleX to save 10%.
You
So,
better check with Bass Pro on that before you trust that at all.
oh, let's see. Benoit fishing. Okay, folks, going to hit the pillow. Stupid alarm clock screams every morning at 3:30. Ugh, yuck.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Night,
Unless I
y'all.
was going,
Appreciate you
unless I was
stopping
going
in.
fishing. Mark says we can't transport bait from the
Place where you're
place we
catching it here.
catch them.
Oh,
Here,
wow.
well, I just, everybody's fresh bait this and fresh bait that. I've caught a shit ton of fish on frozen skipjack.
Oh, yeah.
But if you want fresh bait, and this time of the year, I do want it. And if I'm using bluegill or some kind of sunfish, 'cause I don't want to there's no fresher than to keep one alive and cut it in your boat, still kicking.
Hmm. Oh
That's
yeah,
as fresh as it gets. So
you just
Sean
gotta
P
keep.
says every 5 minutes a commercial comes on. We're gonna check into that and see what's causing that. I'm not sure why it's doing that. You guys shouldn't be getting commercials. Uh, this shouldn't be there. But
No, they shouldn't be going. They shouldn't be going that fast. So
we'll see what we can do about that. But yeah, that's why I go out there with the bait tanks. I change the water out there. That's the water they grew up in.
oh yeah,
There's no chlorine in it. The temperature is basically exactly the same, so you don't have to worry about it.
and it's got their bacteria and stuff in it. So
That's
you've already got
exactly.
you've got the microbes in the. Danny, I wish you were here.
Yeah, no kidding.
But now they had. I drained about 10 gallons out of mine today. Drained about 10 gallons out of the bait tank and replaced it with 10 gallons of fresh water from the sink with the the Tetra stuff put in there to knock the chlorine out of it. And so they were good there, but it was. I thought I was maybe having an ammonia issue, and I wasn't real sure. I had some foam at the top of the water, but uh, the wonders of Google, I got on and started looking around, and I don't think it was ammonia. I think they said it was possibly from overfeeding, and they ate really good yesterday. So
And you're still feeding them hot dogs?
I'm still feeding them hot dogs, and they are going nuts over it. John did all the bait tank feeding for me yesterday. He was having a blast feeding them hot dogs.
Now,
And
how
then
small pieces do you cut them up into?
I'm cutting those hot dogs in about. I'm just slicing down the hot dog, and they're maybe an eighth of an inch thick.
An eighth of an inch thick, and how long?
They're well big around as a hot dog.
Oh, you're using a whole, just slicing a slice off.
Yeah, I'm just slicing a hot dog down the line about an eighth of an inch thick. So we're throwing little circles in there, and even the small bluegills, man. I tell you what, you throw them in there, and they just boom, and that hot dog's in. If they want that hot dog enough, they'll knob off pieces of it. So,
I'll be darned.
and then
I always
Caitlin had a little tub full of mealworms. Uh, Caitlin pulled a fast one on us this past weekend. So they did this ecosystem thing at school where they took like a plastic bottle and they put moss and water and all kinds of dirt and everything else in there. And then they put bugs in it and a frog and all this other stuff. Well, she brought it home and made it sound like uh, it was a class pet, and she had to watch this thing all weekend and then bring it back on Monday. So we didn't find out until last night that, oh no, they don't need this back at school. I just got to bring it home. So they took care of a frog. A frog went to Missouri with Christina and the kids all weekend.
Oh,
With
wow.
Caitlin taking care of a frog she was going to keep as a pet. And so we let the frog go, and we had a thing full of mealworms. I let John throw those mealworms one at a time in that bait tank. And of course, those float. They'll float for a second at top of the water. Those bluegill were coming up top water and nailing those mealworms.
Wow.
John thought that was the funniest thing ever. So
Oh, I'll bet so, yeah. Jody has got a story for it. She said she hooked a monster catfish below the dam last night, bent the rod over, pulled and dragged. She said she tried to stop it from going in the current, and she put her thumb on the line, and it
oh,
instantly straightened the hook and got off. If
ouch.
that straightened the hook like that, you need to be finding you some better hooks.
Yeah. I
If
had a
it can't
batch of
stand
gamma
15,
catsuit
20
did.
pounds, if you got a hook that
I
won't
had a
stand
batch of
15 or 20 pounds of drag, then you got an issue with them.
yeah.
That's
I
why I
had a
use
batch
either.
of gamma catsuit one time that straightened out, and I had just bought, and they could have been. I bought them on Amazon, so they could have been counterfeit. Who knows? But I'd bought a 50-pack of them, and we straightened 3 of them out, just boom, boom, boom. And I took the whole package and just chunked it in the river. I said, "Hope you can sink to the bottom. I don't need you."
Yeah, that's right. I
I said,
throwed away some of the red ones that are everybody brags about. They're supposed to be so good. We was in a tournament and it was a night tournament. It was extremely dark, and I got talked into buying these things, and I had a giant on right off the bat just as it got dark, and it got off before it got to the boat, and had one other bite that night, and it didn't even make it halfway to the boat, and it got off both of them same hooks, and I just took the whole
"Wow."
package and threw them over the side of the boat.
Yeah,
I
yeah, that's
I'll never use one again, because there wasn't very much weight won that tournament, and those two probably would have done me some good, but uh, when they don't work, you can if you are a serious fisherman about your equipment, you need to keep track of your hookup percentage on your hooks. And with 98% on
mm-hmm.
Eagle Claw and nothing reasonably close to that on any other brand that I've tried, I will stick with the Eagle Claws, except
Yeah.
for the stuff I got from you. I really like the hooks that I got from you. Them things are extremely sharp, and they are channel
Oh,
cat dead.
they'll stick you.
They will hurt you and the
They
fish. But I've not
they will
tried them
stick you. That's
on
what
big fish yet. But they work on
I've
channel
used
cat
them.
extremely well.
I've used them suspend drifting, and they've done all right. Um, I don't think they're throaty enough to target. If you're targeting trophy fish, I don't know that they're throaty enough to target them. But those 7/0s, as far as channel cats, it just tears them up. And
Oh, they're badass.
that that 30-pound flathead I caught out of this lake come off that same 7/0 hook. So
Really.
it's a
Oh,
light wire hook. I
I like
like
them
using
really
light
well.
wire hooks on a
Night Mark.
night mark. I like using
Yeah.
light wire hooks when I'm fishing live bait because it seems like they don't die as fast. So
I agree. But now if I'm using cut bait and I'm out trophy fishing on the big rivers, them L 2022 Eagle Claws,
mm-hmm.
they're heavy wire. You don't bend them, you don't break them, you just winch
Yeah.
them in. They're just really good. But everybody's got their thing. But I can't a hook straightening or breaking. I have zero tolerance for. And I
Oh
quit
yeah.
using Gamakatsus because they had a batch of bad ones there several years ago, and they all broke right there in the bend.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always used the Gamakatsu Big Rivers, and I've never had an issue with them. And
I'm trying
they're
to
a
think of
great
one.
for bumping. You can
We used
when
to
that
use a lot of the Team Catfish double actions,
a lot of people like those. I've
and
never
they and they
ever
and they
had
worked. They worked
any good.
good. They just got expensive.
Well, I'm sure. Well, that's just like those big river hooks. They're high, but when
Yeah,
I'm bumping on the Mississippi, and there's always a chance of a giant. When that fish trying to take that away from me, you can haul
right
off
there,
and hit it as hard as you want and never break
right,
one.
right there.
I
I
think
think I agree
counterfeit.
100%
I agree. Yeah,
that there were counterfeit hooks because
it could very well have been.
the ones that I
Mine
bought
didn't
in
come off eBay. Mine come out
no
of a tackle.
the ones that I bought in a 5-pack at the tackle shop always worked fine. And then I bought a 50-pack on Amazon or eBay, and those were the ones that were straightening out. Good chance that they were counterfeit, but
Could be. Could be. Um, while we're still fishing at night and you're not catching anything, do we have a bragging board for this evening?
we do. It should be queued up if you can get
Oh, can
to
you
it. If
do it or
not,
just
I
tell
know
me
I
how?
can get to it. Nope, give me a
Okay.
second. I'll
All
find
right.
it. I just don't want to play the wrong thing.
Yeah, I keep getting them notices about that Christmas thing. Oh, there's a banana jumping around.
There's a banana. Uh, here's Chadwick.
There's Chadwick.
Um, oh, look at that.
Hey, he's standing on his tippy toes.
He's taller than you. Get off
Yeah,
there.
in that picture.
Uh,
Actually,
all right, bragging board. There we go. All right, let's take a look at some fish since mine aren't cooperating. And this is usually a good way to get a bite is to run the bragging board.
Howdy, folks. It's time once again to take a look at the Catfish Weekly Bragging Board, the weekly video series where we showcase the amazing fish photos sent to us by you, our viewers. Leading us off this week, we have a newcomer to the Bragging Board. Chris from Myers TV sent us these photos of a nice 10-point velvet buck he recently harvested, as well as a 36.4-pound blue catfish. Great job, Chris. Nice to see you on the board. Our good friend Mr. Downtown Ernie Brown gave us a peek at his trail cameras this week. The bucks are still hanging out together, and everything from a spike to a beautiful 12-point can be seen in this photo. Thank you very much for sending it in, Ernie. A regular on the bragging board, Miss Pontoon Jody joins us again this week, this time showing off a pair of blue catfish weighing in at 29 and 32 pounds. These fish were caught on Watts Bar on the Tennessee River. Great work, Jody. Another regular to the board, Jerry of Parker Pursuits hit the bank yesterday to do some bass fishing and scored a couple of nice fish, including a 6-pounder. He said in the second photo he was joined by his good friend Mr. Danny Stone. I think I see the resemblance, buddy. Austin from Fishing Fever participated in Operation Vets with Nets over the weekend and came up with this awesome 47.5-pound blue catfish. Great work, Austin. Thanks for sharing it with us, buddy. The Dufour brothers also participated in Operation Vets with Nets and absolutely dominated the event. Andrew Dufour, Jeremy's brother, is seen here with a 64.6-pound Louisiana blue cat. Great work, Andrew. And closing us out this week, we have the bus driver himself. Jeremy of Creole Catfishing landed this monster 86.7-pound blue catfish during Operation Vets with Nets using his LSU Blackhorse bumping rod made by Mr. Lyle Stokes. Amazing fish, Jeremy. Don't forget, guys, you too can be featured on the Catfish Weekly Bragging Board. To be eligible, the fish needs to have been caught within the past 14 days, and we accept pictures of any species of fish. To get yourself or a friend on the bragging board, all you need to do is email your fish photo to pics@theweekendangler.com. Send us the information shown on your screen, and we'll get it on the board for you. Thank you all for watching. Have a great week.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's some great fish.
there were some awesome fish this week.
It was some great fish. Sure was. And Jeremy killed it again, 86. Man. He's on fire.
Man.
He's bad. That's right.
Yeah. Creole says, Chad, you know how many times I had to wash it?
Dawn dishwasher soap is your friend.
Yep.
I seen where he rubbed it, so I'm not going to tell. Oh, man. You got something going there, Josh?
No, I moved everything up shallow I've been throwing out in the middle. I moved everything up shallow this time last time I was out on this lake, everything came out of probably less than about 2 feet of water. So
that may be the case again. It's if that's where the bait's at, that's sure enough where the fish that eats the bait's going to be.
Yep.
Or I would think so anyhow. Thompson Outdoors, welcome.
Yep.
Have you been in here? I haven't seen you.
Ernie says they're out there now. He just looked out the window. So,
Oh, them deer. That's a pretty nice buck.
Ernie, I'm hoping you keep us updated on them. So we'll watch
Absolutely,
them
yeah.
as it comes time. And, I've seen the pictures. Ernie Brown usually comes up with at least one really good deer every year.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Ernie can get some big deer out there. So
That'll be a lot of fun. You keep us posted on them.
our bow season comes in at midnight tonight,
I don't know if
October
Ernie
1st.
bows or not.
Yeah. And I was going to get the bow out over the weekend, but with my shoulder being active up, I don't think it's a good idea. So
Probably not.
That could be an excuse to buy a crossbow, though.
I have one. I love it.
Do you like it?
Oh yeah, I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
A lot, yes, sir. But I've got a video of the last deer I killed was killed with that crossbow, and
Noah threw a fit, folks. Just so you know, when he did that, because there were three of them on the ark. Somehow he let three on, and Lyle shot one of them. So
hadn't been quite that long ago. But yeah, that crossbow is extremely deadly. But I've always said if I was going to be shot, I'd much rather be shot with a gun than a bow. And
yeah, absolutely.
A crossbow is so much faster than a compound bow that it makes the damage a lot worse. So,
yeah, I would much rather take my chances with I'd take my chances with a bullet over a Rage mechanical broadhead. So
yeah, oh yeah, them put devastating holes in them.
Oh yeah,
they really do.
They don't go far when you hit them with a Rage. So,
no,
but
they sure don't. We got we're deciding about Wednesday of whether we're going to do a show or not. Mark is having some work done on his body tomorrow, and so am I. We're going to go in. They done the left side of my back last Thursday, and burnt the nerves in 3 different places. And
can we talk about what Mark's having done, since I think he's out of chat now? He's already left.
No.
And I can make stuff up.
You can make stuff up if you want.
He's if there is a show on Wednesday night, he will not be Mark anymore. He will be Marsha. Oh. Just so you know.
I will be going in tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon to get the right side of my back done. So hopefully, if I get as much relief out of the right side as I did the left side, it'll be great. And maybe I can get over. Yeah, maybe
you're about due up for them to finally get everything working right for you. So
damn, I hope so, buddy. I'm telling you, it's been a rough spell this time.
Yeah, you're owed a good.
Yeah, I think I need a good winter to make up for the summer. How's it? And then Thursday you got Chad, the guys on the bait shop. He should be going and blowing by then. And then Friday night you have
Stan and Jody.
Stan and Jody, and I'm sure there's something going on over the weekend.
There's usually something going on anymore on the weekends. We're getting in that time of year too where it's nice out. So
yep. That's exactly right. And then we'll be back next Monday night. So if you guys have any questions or anything, you can leave it in the comment below on the YouTube thing. We will try to answer those up for you. If you have any suggestions, be sure to do that. And be sure to get in on the Top Cat Fishing thing if you're interested in the October date.
Yep,
we've only got a week to get signed up.
We're going to be running that wheel next Monday night. And
to get the person that's picked,
we're going to get our victim and the 2 alternates, or however you want to put it. But
and it will be live on us the 3rd week.
Yep, we're going to try to do that the 3rd week of the month consistently. Sometimes things are going to happen, whatever not. But the 3rd week of the month is when we're shooting for, and kind of go from there. Guys, I'll be live here in a few minutes on my channel. We're not going to do a real long show tonight. Don't expect it to last more than maybe maybe half an hour. Like I said, I'm trying out some streaming software. I want to make sure it works.
So jump on over to the Weekend
I had
Angler as soon as you close out.
if it works, I think it's going to look real cool with what I had set up over the weekend. But I just want to see if it actually does it when I'm at the out at the lake to see if it's actually going to hold.
Right.
So.
Now, will that be broadcast on YouTube? Is that where you're going to be?
Yep. I'm going live on YouTube because I haven't used this stuff, so I don't know if it's going to show me the like the comments in chat and everything like StreamYard does. I'm sure it will, but I want to make sure it does. And I do have my tablet here with me tonight in case it doesn't, so I'll at least be able to see the chat comments. But
Okay,
we'll give it
I'll
we'll give it a shot. So
I'll be in there to watch out. Thanks everybody for watching. Jump on over to the Weekend Anglers YouTube channel and check him out. He'll be there in just a few minutes. Josh, great show tonight. Thanks everybody for watching. See you next week.
All right, y'all have a good week.